has done about $23 million volume, almost entirely coming from Nigeria, and or maybe like about 80-90%. Flick has onboarded about 11,000 traders who all come from Web 2, not Web 3. And we've successfully been able to onboard them because they found value, or rather their rights. And I'll explain that as well using Flick. Um, we have over 100 creators, two partnerships, and about 400 application of creators. Who is Surbhi? Oh my gosh, that's a very deep question, especially at the end of the year. But I can tell you optically who I am. I am one of the co-founders of Fliq, or Ethos X. Fliq is the product name, where the entire premise is that anybody can create a market, and which allows people to be able to trade on things which they care about or they have knowledge about. Let's do it. I love it.
Yeah, let's do it.
100%. I think let's do it. Flick is by creators, it's for creators, and it's for our community, right? So let's do it. Whatever's needed.
100%.
I would be super excited about it.
Jeff Surbhi, can you introduce yourself and maybe even correct my pronunciation? How should we pronounce your name?
Firstly, GM, and thank you for having me over, Yanasa. Uh, my name is Surbhi, and you can pronounce it whichever way. Surbi, whichever way doesn't make a difference. I think names are just for someone to be recognized with. And I think if people feel comfortable speaking them the way they want to, that's the idea. And I understand all of them. Who is Surbhi? Oh my gosh, that's a very deep question, especially at the end of the year. But I can tell you optically who I am. I am one of the co-founders of Fliq, or Ethos X. Fliq is the product name, where the entire premise is that anybody can create a market, and which allows people to be able to trade on things which they care about or they have knowledge about, right? And Ethos X is the legal name of the company, and Flick is a product by it. We are entering almost the end of year, and I cannot believe this is almost the end, Yanasa. That's been a long time. I've been building this for now about more than a year. But Ethos X, or our first product, which we launched, was an options product, which did about 80 million volume. And the vision with which we've been building has remained the same since the past 3.5 years, which is how can we get more people to trade, especially from countries like India or Nigeria or the developing countries primarily. And that's for or who optically Surbhi is and what she's building, Inessa.
Yeah, 100%. I think I saw your. If you guys haven't seen it, I'll pin it. I'll show it here, right? You can go to Shubi's X, right? Her pinned thread. She talks a little bit more about this, right? I was reading through that yesterday. She talks a little bit more about this, right? Or maybe it was on one of the countless places that I've listened to Shubi on, right? So she talks about the whole idea of making trading more accessible, and like the yes or no market. It kind of makes it very simple. You don't need to know about how to do some lines, how to draw some you know, all of that stuff. So, we've done a little bit of intro and background, got to know a little bit of who Shobi is, right? And now we just want to talk Flick, the 2025 journey. Can you chat it out for us from like the very beginning of Flick to where we are now? Take us through the journey. It's been an incredibly successful year, so I mean, let's
I
talk.
would. I would love to. I think because Flick is how we also got connected, Irisa. And Flick is how we found home in Nigeria as well. And Flick is what is connecting so many of us in the community. So happy to talk about as much as you want about Flick and his journey. Talking particularly about, by the way, before I start, I love the color new. It's looking so nice, the white and the blue. Really cool.
Yeah,
So,
thank you.
uh, and how I can talk about Flick's journey is the amount of dark circles I've had from the beginning to the end of the year. I think the same goes for the team. But yes, we guys launched a real money market or real money trading on Flick in September. However, the journey started much before. We guys started building last year in, I think, about August or something. And this year we launched finally in September after running a lot of beta testing in non real money trading mode. Since then, Flick has done about $23 million volume, almost entirely coming from Nigeria, and or maybe like about 80-90%. Flick has onboarded about 11,000 traders who all come from Web 2, not Web 3. And we've successfully been able to onboard them because they found value, or rather their rights. And I'll explain that as well using Flick. Um, we have over 100 creators, two partnerships, and about 400 application of creators to be accepted. We have processed over 20,000 markets until now, where majority of the markets are either about football or like our community, like fighting over United or Liverpool. And and I think, so you've been part of those conversations, I feel, somewhere. And the other markets which are very popular on Flick are crypto markets, as well as a lot of localized markets such as Big Brother Niger, or like, some curated markets from countries which watch cricket. So that's been the journey so far for Flick. And I'm sorry, I think it's like the automatic electric light, and I think I was not moving enough. Um, so that has been the journey so far. We guys launched, unlike other prediction markets, our thesis has always been, can we create a marketplace where people with followings or people with friends create markets which they care about, leading to basically the concept of anyone can create a market. And until now, almost all our markets are created by people, creators. And that is how we were also able to onboard a lot of Web2 users. I will end with the journey part with one particular thing. When we started, we were not expecting football markets to be the most popular. We expected more popularity from maybe politics or things like that, because that's what we'd seen with Kalshi and Polymarket. However, with our very organic growth in our users, a lot of the markets, they naturally drove interest in football. And the reason for that is that some of our early creators, they were associated and still are associated with betting platforms in Nigeria or some UK platforms. And they had the knowledge, and they knew why their followers are following them, right? They would come to them to talk about, like, okay, where should we bet, which bets should we do, which markets. And these creators with like 100K, 200K, 300K followings, they realized that, okay, they were introduced to Flick with some of their friends, and they realized, hey, we already know like football, and we already like earn money via these affiliate programs. Over here we might have a real opportunity to create markets and earn from them directly, right? So with that, like, we had a lot of these betting influencers coming, creating markets on what they know, like how many passes between two teams, or how many goals, how many goal kicks. And with that, like, our creators have earned over like $30,000 directly from the market they have created. This is not from trading, this is from the market they have created. So yeah, that is how 2025 for Flick has been. I did go a little bit overboard, so I apologize.
Not at all, not at all. You like went exactly into the details I wanted. So like let me even ask you again, right? For like a if you are presenting, I'm sure you've already had this meeting. You've already had this meeting with the team and the board, right? Like, okay, the overview. What are like the five key numbers for Flick in 2025?
What were the, I'm sorry, could you repeat?
Like five key numbers that Flick has. We're talking about like, oh, achievements of Flick this year. Let's see your North Star
Oh my
metrics.
gosh. I think like the trading volume organically, without like actually spending on users, like through the word of mouth and through the chain reaction of creators, the 23 million that we've traded. And this second would be our 20,000 markets which we've processed or settled, because that shows that the market is scalable, the platform works, and without any errors, technical errors at all. right? So last 3 to 4 months, those have been our like very key metrics. But on the other side, so like I think our cohort of creators as well as the trader community, it's really grown to 11,000 people, real people talking to each other, bantering with each other. I think you're part of the Telegram group, how much people like talk to each other, cry, crib, share happiness. And with that, also, this is not a metric, but this is something which really touched me a lot. Is that we've had one of the traders buy a new laptop with the
Mm,
trading earnings.
yeah. Mm,
Secondly, one of our creators started her own business using the money she's earned from Flick and continues to create markets. And a lot of our traders, they also came out of bankruptcy because a lot of the people had lost a lot of money on betting platforms. And because Flick is, maybe like betting, but not actual betting platform, because you can manage your risk. That means if you've taken a position, if you've bought in money to get a return, you can exit that also without the event
mm,
ending.
yeah.
So, we gave power back to the users, and also, unlike betting platform, we don't, um, you know, um, we cannot ban anybody who wins continuously, which betting platforms do. So, all these things led to these people being able to save money or really use the knowledge to be able to have a livelihood, which justifies the fact how smart they are in their own domain, right? So I know you asked for North Star metric, but I think this was much more impactful because when you're building something which people are benefiting from, I think there's nothing more beautiful than that.
100%, like the real human connections and stories are like vital, right? That's the whole idea. We want to talk about impact. So a lot of products don't have are not as clean. You can't see directly that kind of human impact, but I mean that's what the whole idea is, right? I mean, so like we've talked about Flick's 2025 journey, right? So now for 2026, 2026, I'm sure you're excited. Give us reasons to be excited. Why should you be excited?
Very.
Why should we be excited?
Ooh, why should you be excited? Because there are a lot of things coming on, especially for creators. I think more opportunities for creators to be able to earn money, more variety of markets, and also like even a smoother interface for traders so they're able to trade faster and also get like their money faster, get their money back faster. So overarchingly, we're doing a lot of iterations which have come from our traders and our creators. Like for example, small things like you'll be able to see a creator page where creators are the ones, like you can actually go to creator page, their profile, and like trade exclusively the markets that they want you to trade. And that way their followings and their followers get to engage with them directly, also benefit from the markets and topic wise. The other thing is we are also working on how can we increase the number of markets with liquidity. So a lot of markets which have been high in demand, like we are trying to get those, and we'll be seeing markets in more languages in 2026 as well. So overarchingly, a lot of things or a lot of venues where creators and traders will be able to earn money from or engage with. And sir, most importantly, I'm really hoping like a larger community of real people trying to help each other and get them on board with trading, which gives them a fair field to earn their living primarily.
100%, 100%. Should
What
I tell
is,
you
I
what
would
me
ask
I'm most
you,
excited
Sir.
about? Yeah.
Yeah, I want to, what are you most
Okay.
excited about and what is it that you expect?
Okay. So actually, I have to confess that I've been a very I've missed the flick wave, right? I've been away from the stars, but I've not been too much into prediction markets, right? Because I've also stopped, I've also stopped betting a long time ago. You get, so I've not been too much into prediction markets, but you know me, like I've done a live stream with with Flick CEO, and I do like live streams, I do video a lot, right? So I find it fun, the storytelling, connecting with people. So something that I actually wanted to start, which I'd actually done, so like I've done like talking about the stream with Fliq CEO. I've also done a stream with Kika and Baby and a couple of other Fliq.
Hmm.
I'm laughing at your movement there to get the light
Uh,
back on. So I've done a stream with, so I've done like 2 live streams about Flick, right? I've done like 2 live streams about Flick. This will be the third one. This is, although this was not live stream, this was just like proper video. So like one thing that I had in mind, right, with that was to kind of do like a weekly Flick live stream. You get do like a
ooh,
weekly Flick live stream. Yeah, to like start of the week or at the start of the week, do a weekly Flick live stream, have a couple of the top, creators or things like that from that week on, right? And I'll just be like hosting the Flick show in addition to the amazing Flick spaces that Baba already does, right? So I don't know
let's do
if
it.
we can
I
work on
love
that.
it.
Yeah, let's do it.
100%. I think let's do it. Flick is by creators, it's for creators, and it's for our community, right? So let's do it. Whatever is
Hundred
needed.
percent,
I would be
hundred
super
percent.
excited about it.
Yeah, so I look forward to doing that. So hopefully we'll just chat about it and we can launch it first week of the new year. No problems.
Done. Let's do it, sir, if that's what we need to do.
You guys can
You
see
know,
that this
I
was
move
born
fast.
right here on
Like,
this call.
agreed. Who would have flicked it? Like, is there any market for it?
You see, that's something that I really love, right? That whole idea that I don't know how to put it. The whole concept, right? That creator driven markets, that's like anything that you can just think of, just flick it, right? I feel it's really, really powerful. Like it's such a beautiful concept. We've seen prediction markets really blow up this year, right? And I think I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is there any other prediction market that does create that like allows creators to create markets?
I think there are a few, but I don't think they've gone live yet, sir. So I think we are the only
Okay,
ones
no,
who are
so like
live
poly markets
where
and Cowshy, they don't
no,
allow
they
that, right?
don't.
Just to confirm.
No, they don't do that. Yeah, they don't do that.
Do you have
Because
any idea of like why they don't allow that? Because it seems like such a no-brainer.
I think seem like a no-brainer once you've done it already. But I think initially, for them, I think like that was never the focus, right? Um, Essentially, if we were to go back in time and start a prediction market, we would also want to be centralized to see like what markets are working, what are not working. For us, we did this way because probably where we come from. I come from a developing country, so does do rest of the founders, and I think it was quite easy for us to understand. I'll let this be easy for us to understand that if you want markets which people care about, which they really, they have knowledge about, you need those people to be creating markets as well. Because if we create markets on what we know or what we have information about, we will not be catering to the diversity of human beings. And the entire concept here for us is how can we bring people to trade on topics they care about or they know about, they have knowledge about, right? Skill based trading. So, with that concept, a thesis in mind, this was a no brainer. But I think for poly market culture, it was more like how can you get better data points to predict the future, right? So I think that's why like it maybe naturally did not come this way. However, I think polymarket culture, they have a wide variety of markets, which might not necessarily cater to the crowd that we guys are, right? Like what matters to you in Nigeria or someone in Uganda or like South Africa or India is completely different from what would matter to someone in America, right? So I can't answer why it was no brainer they not do that, but I can see why they started the way they did. And for us, it was personal reasons. It's a personal problem we're trying to solve. We want people to have a level playing field, and the only thing which in today's world can provide that is trading. Nobody can, if you have the knowledge and skill set and the discipline, uh, you absolutely have the power to earn your own living basically.
Awesome, awesome. So like I really like the fact that Flick has right from the beginning been very focused on like its own particular niche within the prediction market, genre, right? So like what just like very briefly, like this is just like the last point here to end. what general growth plans does Flick have to like push out even further to allow even more people to see the gospel of Flick?
So I think one thing which, like, I don't know if you noticed, sir, until now everything has come via very organic referral for us, in terms of like how people have come. However, we do have a friction point in terms of because we're on blockchain, so people need to convert their local currency into blockchain currency and then trade. So one of the major pushes that we'll be doing is for those people who've been trying to access our platform and they've not been able to do so by providing some sense of an on ramp and off ramp, right? Which allows like all these friends of friends to be able to access the platform very quickly. Our hope is that we've had organic and like very easy recommended user base which is coming, and we would like to keep it that way. However, in terms of growth, we'll be giving more tools to creators to be able to create markets faster and quicker, and also cater to the markets which are real time, uh, and which are happening alongside when the real time news or something like that is happening. So that is, we are focusing a lot more on how can we make the product to be even easier, more intuitive for the creators as well as their traders primarily. So that will be a growth engine, and we'll continue for the organic growth that we've been receiving, and hopefully some cool partnerships which we're working on right now.
Okay, okay, okay. That's a little offer that Story has spilled there. She didn't say too much, bro. Just keep an eye open, right? Keep an eye open. Don't worry. The Flick show will have you covered, right? Weekly live streams will have you guys covered.
Hopefully.
So, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ruby, for coming on and doing this. Like, do you like have any just final words? Just leave us with.
So, firstly, sir, thank you so much for really inviting us and or speaking to us, or even giving your time, because I do understand everybody's time is very precious, and the fact that you spent with me or also trying to understand the product and what we plan to do, I really appreciate it. Secondly, the only request from everybody is that, guys, thank you for the love and thank you for like really trying a platform, providing feedback, and still sticking by us. Our retention rate is almost anywhere between 60 to 70%, so which is incredible. So please continue giving us love, and we try to work as much as we can with you guys. We are trying to build something which doesn't last just a year or two, but maybe 20 years, 30 years, 40 years down the lane, or even 100, and create a legacy that is created by all of us, right? And when I say all of us, I truly believe that it's me speaking, but it's our core team, it's our creators, it's our traders who've been there, and sir, you like so many of you guys have been like constantly talking about Flick and putting us in the limelight. So yeah, like thank you, and let's keep building. Like we'll just keep our head down, and no matter what happens, we have to do this for us. So
All right, awesome. So this has been Story from Flick or from Ethos X, whichever one you want to use, right? And thanks so much for doing this. And hopefully next year we'll be having the future every week to keep you up to date and keep going with this, right? So thanks so much
yeah,
everyone for joining. Thank you again to Story for speaking with us, and yeah, it's been amazing.
thank you,
Catch you again on the
Nessa,
next one.
and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, or whatever else you celebrate
Happy
for
holidays.
everybody.